everyone, and welcome back to the show. This week, we'll be discussing the haunting happenings at Castle Leslie Estate in County Monaghan, Ireland. Wow. All right. This is happening in Ireland, people. All right. And right after, we will be sharing our thoughts on the movie As Above, So Below. So grab a snack, relax, and let's begin.
Castle Leslie Estate in County Monaghan, Ireland, sits among the border of Northern and Southern Ireland. It was originally bought in the 1600s by Bishop John Leslie. In the 1800s, this majestic Scottish baronial style manor was rebuilt and rooms were added and have housed a branch of the Clan Leslie for hundreds of years. The Clan Leslie claimed to be able to date their ancestry back to Attila the Hun. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's some serious history there.
Yeah, right?
The first Leslie was named Bartholomew Leslie, who came from Scotland and was a Hungarian nobleman. He was Chamberlain and protector of Margaret, Queen of Scotland. The manor has been passed down through the generations and is now owned by Samantha Leslie. It has been converted into a hotel where guests can languish in the extensive rooms, each boasting its own ensuite bathroom. The castle sits on 1,000 acres of lush land and boasts 3 lakes, beautiful parklands, and a forest of native hardwoods, all forming part of the olden woods of Tra. The property truly appears to be an idyllic and scenic one. Streams for fishing, trails for horseback riding. After all, an equestrian and livery are also on the property near the main house. Castle Leslie promises a delightful stay. However, among all this beauty and grandeur, the castle is reported to be one of the most haunted castles in the UK. It is rumored to have no less than 18 ghosts, most of which are deceased family members, staff members, and servants. Paranormal activity can be found in several of the manor's rooms. Bells ringing on their own, and shadowy figures can be found lurking in the hallways. Enjoying what you've heard so far? Be sure you never miss an episode by following us. Thank you for your support. Now back to the show.
The banquet hall is said to be the hotbed of activity, where many have reported sightings of a monk, tall and dressed in black, who often disappears through a wall. He enjoys the most cheerful festivities and is said to have pleasant disposition. The sounds of crying children have always been heard in the halls, but there was no evidence of the source of this haunting. The ghost of Norman Leslie, who died during the War of 1914, is said to haunt the Red Room. Lady Margaret, his mother, said she awoke from her rest in his room to find his ghost standing near his desk, searching through the letters. When she asked what he was doing, he turned to smile at her before disappearing. The basement houses the ghost of the Gray Man with a frightening vestige, as experienced by a staff member who claimed this aspiration approached them but disappeared before making contact. In the Mauve Room, Lady Constance could be found. It is said, while lying on her deathbed, Lady Leon, a former lady of the castle who approached by and had a conversation with an old lady who after walks off and disappeared. The drowsy caregiver for Lady Lowen at the time assumed it was a family member who came in to pay their last respects. It is not until the funeral service the nurse noticed a picture of the woman on the wall of the dining room who looked exactly like the woman she had seen in Lady Lowen's bedroom. That is super creepy. The family told her the picture was Lady Constance and she couldn't possibly be the lady she saw, as she has been dead 18 years prior.
Wow.
You're right.
It's not creepy at all, right?
Oh my goodness. Some claim to see Lady Constance strolling about the property.
Before we continue, we would like to give a reminder that all sources links are found in the description of the video. For this particular segment of the podcast, we note that it was found on www.14findings.blogspot.com and will be just a summarized experience of the persons interviewed. To read the full details, please head over to the website. Mark Leslie expresses how the calm and quiet of being in the Irish countryside makes the belief of the otherworldly easier. Desmond Leslie speaks on a shared experience with him and his wife as newlyweds when the couple went picking grapes. While in the greenhouse, his bride felt the wedding ring tugged off her finger amid the sounds of children's laughter, although they were the only ones present. They just couldn't find it anywhere nearby. When they searched, but it popped up a few days later in the inner pocket of a zip bag. A local resident named Anne talks of one of her uncles, Ned, who was a top gardener who worked at the estate. Most nights leading up to his death, he often pulled on the bedclothes. When he asked about it, he would reply that he was washing the roses. Desmond Leslie came to visit one night with a red rose in hand, unknowing that Ned had passed away a mere 20 minutes earlier. When he found out the news of Ned's death, he said he literally just met Ned at the garden walking through the roses. That would be creepy.
Right? Like, oh my God.
Very much so.
Sammy Leslie shares her experience in the staff's corridor. She tells the story of the history of the corridor, which led to the staff's quarters, and there are multiple occasions where a shadowy figure is often seen lurking about. Judy, who is a personal assistant, talks about an experience she had while touring the wine cellars with a group of children. An apparition appeared staring at them. He did not appear to be a violent entity and appeared to be dressed in servant's clothing. Marion and Lucy, guests of the property, had a shared experience. Marion told of reading to Lucy while having a pile of books nearby. They both saw the pile sliding off one book at a time. And Lucy, age 5 at the time, described what she saw were ghostly children in shiny jumpers and dresses. The website goes on to share even more stories from the Leslies and their staff, friends, and acquaintances. I definitely recommend checking it out for the in-depth stories of the ghosts of Castle Leslie Estate. The manor is currently open for business and with strict COVID protocols in place. Book ahead to check out room availability. Would you stay at Castle Leslie to catch a glimpse of their permanent ghostly resident?
I would.
I would as well.
Yes, I think it sounds interesting.
Yes, right? And come on, it's a castle.
Right?
Yes. The pictures of the place are gorgeous, and it looks like it looks like the same structure, like there were no modifications really to the external walls, etc.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
Yes, so you can tell that it carries a heavy sense of just history and atmosphere to the place. And
Yeah.
The castles.
yeah,
Right?
yes, I would go just for the
Just to see the castle.
parklands and the,
Right?
just the castle. I mean, just the calm and the quiet of the place, and the streams to both, to stroll along in the woods. And I don't fish, but I would probably dip my toe in the stream.
Same.
Yes, this type of things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I would love to.
It looked good. And just to experience the ghosts, because they all seem very nice. There was no reports of any malevolent spirits at all.
A
Yeah.
castle full of Casper, the friendly ghosts. I'm down.
Yes.
Right? Right?
Yes.
That's
Until you
rare.
get that one ghost you anger.
Yeah. That would be my luck too.
Right?
Yes. Oh man. But I think it's so cool that even with the staff members, it's almost like, have you ever seen that movie Rose Red? Is it Rose Red? It's a Stephen King movie where you become part of, if you're in the house, you die in the house, you become part of the permanent ghostly residents of the house. So it's almost like you be there, you work there, and if you die there on the other property, your ghost immediately gravitates to the house. That's my interpretation. That's what I take from what I've read in regards to the experiences that some people have had there.
There are definitely worse places that your ghost could gravitate towards.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And although, well, they didn't mention anything in particular in terms of children's deaths, but even there are reports of hearing sounds of children giggling and just playing around in the, in the house. I don't know.
I don't. The giggling children is always creepy to me, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giggling children is always creepy to me. I don't know why.
Mischievous.
Right. I guess because of every like horror movie you've ever seen where there's like giggling children, it's not really children. It's like demonic.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's even like even sometimes my daughter creeps me out. So
Little kids can be creepy.
yeah, no, like seriously, like the other night she was like sitting in the middle of the living room and she was starting to sing Ring Around the Rosie like really creepily, and I'm like, knock that crap off, child. I'm like, no, and she's like, but why? I'm like, that's just creepier, knock it off.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she just like looked at me through her hair, and I'm like, no, knock it off.
Oh wow.
Yeah, kids are creepy.
Okay.
Oh
So-
my.
We watched the movie As Above, So Below based off of our discussions on the catacombs that we had
Last
at our yes. So I did see the movie a few years ago, and I don't think that I really appreciated it as much as I did now. And I totally missed the message back then, and I totally missed it again this time until it was explained. But as far as low budget movies go, this one was a definite hit to me. And as with many other movies in the style of first person camera, that's what it's called, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it makes the fear so much more real. You feel like you're part of the adventure, as scary as it might be. And I had moments of, oh shit. and yes, as per usual, I screamed a lot too. The concept of hell in this movie was an interesting one. I have not explored or read up much about the 9 rings of hell, but if it's anything like what this group of friends went through, I would have to pass. Thank you very much. Nope.
Right?
Oh, I agree. You know, I've seen this movie a couple of times years ago, but I guess I never paid as much attention to it. Like, I never noticed the girl from the club being the same girl from the caves, or that the guy in the caves who tells them to find Papio is the same guy from the burning car. And when I realized it this time, I felt like such a dummy. Like, it made the movie make so much more sense.
Yes. I agree.
And I agree that it was a good, I think it's found footage. Is that what it's supposed to be like?
It was supposed to be like the footage found in the catacombs. Yeah.
But I definitely wavered over whether they were dead or not multiple times while we were watching. Like, if it hadn't been for the ending explained video,
Yes.
I would still be like, no, I'm pretty sure they're dead. I'm not super familiar with Dante's Inferno, and it's one of those books that it's been on my list to read. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I was pretty sure that the whole concept was relating to the Rings of Hell, and it made me want to read more into them. I'm really glad that we watched this film. I thought that they did a great job on the found footage angle, and it only confirmed my belief that I would not want to be Pooh Bearing my ass down a tunnel of bones.
Yeah, so like last week I said I would totally love to do this. After this movie, no, I'm good. I did not want to do that.
Your long rope idea went out the window.
Yeah, I'm totally good. So, yeah.
So not even on the guided tours would you guys want to go?
I
I don't know. I think I have to go with a group of friends.
Yeah, like I don't
Hold
think
hands
I'd want
the
to be
whole
like
time.
just me.
Yeah.
But they went with a group of friends as well.
Like I'm
Yes,
literally
but they
going to
went-
be like crushing you guys together. I'm just like not letting go.
But they went into the off limits areas.
That is true. That is true. And I just feel like because they were supposed to be there. That's why they were directed there, although they didn't take that path at the beginning. Like everything just led them to having to go through that other path that was off limits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will do the guided tour because I think it's just a bit of the macabre in the bones and the art that they've done with it that is more appealing to me. But also I'm thinking of walking along a line of 6 million bones. It's kind of scary as well.
Yeah.
I would definitely need to go with friends.
Yes.
And I would definitely be like looking for that tunnel that's bricked in.
Right?
I'd just be like, yeah, that's where they went.
That's where I'm not going.
That's where you die.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Yep. I wonder what they said after. Like when they resurfaced, I wonder what they said to whoever about the people that were lost in the
Right?
in the tunnels. Or if they even knew, because it was kind of secret, you know? So maybe they never said anything?
Probably not. They probably just kept it to themselves.
That's something to weigh on your mind like forever. I think I'd go mad.
Yeah, I never considered what would be said about the people who didn't come out.
Yeah. It's just like they were almost just like forgotten.
Yeah. Well, and the guy at the end just left.
Right.
He's just like,
It's like I'm getting away from you too before anything crazy happens.
he's just like, I'm out.
Yes. But I think for me, quite possibly, the creepiest part of that whole movie was when Papio got pulled into that car.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yes. That was it for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I was scared almost the whole time. It gave me bad voodoo. So I'm just like, bad vibes altogether. I'm scared.
Bad juju.
Yeah. Well, it was fun. I enjoyed watching it with you ladies. I really did.
I did too.
Yes.
And it makes me want to watch much more horror movies now, because I'm not the only one who's going to be afraid to sleep at night.
Yeah, even my husband was like, I heard you scream. I'm like, oh, I bit my tongue. There was a few times where I bit it hard.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. She just came out of nowhere. Like, that was a scary part.
I think the biggest jump scare for me was when the camera guy, I forget his name, but when the lady just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah. That was the big jump scare for me too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think I screamed as much as he did.
I woke Ollie up when I screamed at that part.
Oh wow.
Oh no. Oh no.
I got the kids running. They were like, "What's happening, Mommy? What's going on?"
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. But it was fun.
Yes.
So I would definitely recommend the movie for those who haven't seen it.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us this week for Castle Leslie. Do you have a paranormal story you want to share? You can send us an email at blackcatcrossingzabs@gmail.com. You can follow us on our social media platforms to keep up with all the latest. On Instagram at Black Cat Crossing Podcast, on Twitter at Black Cat Crossy2, and on Facebook at Black Cat Crossing Podcast. You can also check out our website, www.blackcatcrossing.co. We'll see you next time
In
in the
unknown.